Hey, will you guys be sending us the recording at the end?
Yes. You'll get it in the final feedback that we send out. Yeah, right after the session ends. Once the recording is ready, we'll send it to you.
Great, thanks.
And the slides as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, slides also I think we can send.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Because my slide only has links, so
Okay, I mean, still
yeah,
it will
that's right.
be helpful. So, I
Yeah.
think Anubhav, you can start.
Sure. Hey everyone, hope you're having a good Tuesday. I'll just give a small introduction about myself and why I've kept all those points. I've kept these points really relevant to my work experience at Wingify. So I'm not sure if you've heard about VW. It's one of the one of the famous bootstrap startups in Indian ecosystem, and it has a A/B testing platform and a CRO platform. I worked there as a SEO for about 1 year, and this is what all I did. And this is like a practical, cheat sheet or whatever you want to call it, guide. And I've divided my pointers into 2 quarters because I know SEO is a long-term investment. You don't see results in like 1 or 2 days, where you see results in by paying getting paid traffic. So yeah, it's a long-term investment. That's why I've broken down my pointers into 2 quarters. So I'll just start off with the pointers, and if you have any question related to the pointers, you can ask me at the end of the presentation or once Vijay is over with this presentation. So I think everyone is pretty much aware about what is keyword research. So but the current state of SEO is that one has to go above the practice of keyword research and define topic clusters. I won't go deep into each point because I have shared the best possible resource on the internet about this topic. So you can just click on that link and go to that. But I've just defined how you should go about your own process. So first of all, whatever your SaaS tool or platform does, you define its topic clusters. So I'll give you a practical example from VW, from my time at VW. VW was an A/B testing tool. So for us, A/B testing, website heat maps, conversion rate optimization, and what else? Session recordings. These were the major topic clusters. And even if you Google these keywords today, you'll see VW ranking first, second, or third. So we defined really good topic cluster, what our brand stood for, what did we offer as a solution, and what were the pain points that we solved of the customers. So those are topic clusters. You can read this article by Samuel Schmidt. He's broken down this topic really well. This was introduced to the SEO world by HubSpot. And if I tell you about HubSpot's journey, I mean, this is a really fun fact because HubSpot is a listed company, and in its shareholders notes, it always releases what a big role organic traffic has played into its growth. So you can read that, you can Google that, and you can find that. So this is really important. This was introduced to the SEO world by HubSpot. They started off with this topic cluster, and now everyone is kind of doing it. There are a couple of other really good tools or blogs that you can follow. There's WordLift. I've given a really good resource here, which is actually good for beginners as well as someone who is aware about this topic. So next off, I'll go to this pointer, which is content audit. Can I open the links here? Priyanka, are these not linked?
They are. Let me check.
Because this is kind of a tweet, so I just wanted to show this. Can you guys tell me like which SEO tool that you use? Do you use Screaming Frog? Anyone use a site bulb? What all do?
Yeah, we use Screaming Frog. We use Screaming Frog.
Can you write in the chat? Sorry, a lot of voices coming. Okay, perfect. Screaming Frog. Yeah. So this is a really good, a walkthrough. I think this is not linked. So this gives you, this is a tweet by a SEO who has given a really good process of doing a content audit through Screaming Frog and figuring out which pages to keep and which pages to trim. So I think I'll link it later on.
I'm so sorry, Anubhav. I don't know how this happened, but can you use the other one? I'll just.
I
Can you just
think
stop
that,
it? Maybe.
yeah, I'll just stop my sharing my screen and just. Yeah, found it.
Yes, Roshan, you'll get the PPT posted on.
Yeah, I think we'll just link it later on. So I just found my the one that I shared with you. I'm just sharing my screen. 1 second now. Sorry about the delay. For some reason, it's not opening in Google Docs. I don't know, for some reason it's not opening. I'll just open my email and do it. Yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect. Okay. So yeah, this was the original slide. So yeah, so this is a really good article on doing a content audit in 15 minutes, and the template is included. This is by Traffic Think Tank. This uses Ahrefs and Screaming Frog, so you can go through this. And the other this you could have probably found on the internet, and this is one particular tweet that I specifically used at VW, and I loved it. I mean, what it does is basically it uses custom extraction. Sorry.
Um. One second. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Anubhav.
Okay. Yeah. So what it does is basically it uses custom extraction in Screaming Frog, and let's say, and usually WordPress blogs and any blogs hosted on any platform, they have all the content inside one div. So it extracts all that content and it stores it in an Excel sheet. And then what you can do is once you have all the content, then you can use this formula. The formula is also given here, and find out keywords wherever it is present. So you get this final sheet as this is the URL, this is the extracted text, and this keyword is present or not. And then you can find interlinking opportunities here. So these two articles, these two resources are used for content audit and internal linking at BW. And this is really impressive. Like this this is like one tweet, and it does a lot of work. So you'll find interlinking opportunities. And one important point to keep in mind when you're doing internal linking is that try to internal link within the topic clusters. So I'll give you an example here. So let's say A/B testing is a topic cluster, and it can have many content, many topics such as A/B testing tool and how to do A/B testing. So these are mini separate topics within that topic cluster. So always try to, from the mini topic, try to link back to the main topic cluster. That's how you go about the whole internal linking, and it's covered in that the first link, which is here. Sorry, define topic cluster. You'll find everything here in this particular link.
I
And
think Anubhav, you can use the other one. I think the link should work now.
okay, this one.
Yes,
So-
yes. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
I think still not.
Still not.
That's okay. I think I'll just, yeah. So that's why I mean, even apart from Screaming Frog, we want to use Sidebulb. So one thing, now once you've done your content audit, I think Sidebulb has a slight edge over Screaming Frog when it comes to technical audit. I'll tell you why. Because if you've used it, it kind of breaks down every task into a lot of sort of a, a mini project. You can see properly um, what you need to fix, and it kind of gives you a Jira sort of a thing only at the end of the crawl. You'll see that. I won't go into this, but if you want to use both the tools, I'll give you a hack. Subscribe to Elida Solis newsletter, and you'll get a 2-month free subscription of Sidebulb. She always includes a link in that, and if you subscribe to the newsletter, you'll find a link, and you'll get 2 months free Sidebulb. And Screaming Frog, you can pay, that's about like 11,000 for the whole year. That's an annual license. So once you have these two tools, I mean, you're good to go. And there's this small hack again. These are all things that I use at VWO. So just subscribe to Glenn Allsup's. I don't know how he pronounces his surname. His newsletter. There's this particular hack. It's really interesting. I won't share it on this webinar because it's like stealing from another great SEO. I mean, it's such an amazing hack, and you'll see for it for yourself once you implement that hack on your website. I've just referred to which newsletter has that hack. So just wait for the second email. So there's a newsletter drip that starts once you sign up on detail.com. Just wait for the second email and you'll see that hack, and you'll see the results of that, and you'll be astonished. Then what we did was, once we did this at VWO, and then we started with Agile. We created sprints. Again, this is a really good resource. You can go into this. I think this is not a Agile resource. This is basically let's say, how if you have a lot of coverage errors in your search console, how you can break those down, and just create tasks from that. So start following an agile methodology. You'll find a lot of articles related to that on Search Engine Land. They tell you how to go about it. And this is a really good resource if you want to understand. Google has been expanding on its coverage reports, and now you'll see that in the excluded report there's a lot of subcategories. So what those subcategories stand for, and what is the solution to that particular subcategory, you'll find everything in this article. This is a really good resource on the coverage report. So they've broken down every subcategory. And next, this is a really good resource from Orbit Media. So in SaaS, you have to publish a lot of blog posts. Now you'll find a lot of resources on the internet which tell you how many to publish, and how many times. I won't go into that. That depends upon the resources that you have inside the company. And some people publish less, they still get results. Some people publish more, they also get results. So it's completely up to your situation. But this is a really good template to share with your content writers. You don't have to do that work of creating a template from scratch. Just refer to this. This person has also created a really good walkthrough video at the end of this blog post. So you can see that what should you include in a template when you are sharing this information with your content writers. And they'll also love it, because what I used to do at VW, I'll share my technique with you. I used to create this template, and I had this template. I used to clone it every time, make a copy in Google Docs. Then what I would do is create a Loom video at the end of the template. Now that Loom video gets attached to the doc, and I have given my inputs, and I used to save a lot of time on meetings. So the content writer would see the Loom video, they would understand what needs to be done, and then they would release a really good final draft, you can say that, with minor changes at the end while we were about to publish that post. So that was my process, and I got the inspiration from this particular post. Then create checklist. I've shared my checklist. You want to customize it, it's your call. Or you'll find a lot of checklists on the internet. So this is really important. I'll also give you a really good thing. What you can do is, Priyanka, I think I forgot to share that resource. I'll share it after the webinar. So we had created an add-on in VWO. So let's say if someone has written a content piece, that add-on would open up a checklist here, and then everyone could mark that what has been done and what is left. So that was a really good thing. You won't find an add-on here. There's an SEMrush add-on, but that doesn't feed into the content writers process. We created a customized add-on. So I have that code with me. You can share it with your developer, and they can publish it for your organization. G Suits allows you to publish it for your organization. So that's a really good thing. I mean, you can have customized fields there for yourself and for your content writer. And yeah, this is really important considering the recent changes. Google has been rewriting our titles. So one thing what I saw at VW was that we used to have weekly meetings where we used to update our titles, and we saw really good results from that. The best practices, I think this is a really good read. You can find that. And I mean, these sort of blog posts keep on updating as and when the SEOs here at Moz, and there's this particular startup, I think it's called, it's not a startup, it's SERP rank or something like that. They keep on publishing these studies where they do analysis of what should you keep, and all that stuff. But it's really important for a B2B SEO. It's really important to keep your titles updated, especially of your best performing pages. So keep that as a bi-weekly exercise. We did that. We never failed at it. We used to, even if we did not update the content, I'm being honest, we used to update the title so that we can get the traction on SERP. So yeah, it would be an ideal situation if you can update the content as well as the title. So that is an ideal situation. And then again, I'm coming back to this person, Glenn Alsop. So there's a really good hack. It's related to the backlinks. You can see it in his first email. And there's also one more really good newsletter, which is by Steve Toth, Toth. So again, I won't share their hacks because those are really good hacks and they have come up with it. Just subscribe to his newsletter. It's Steve, Toth, and he shares that hack in his like fourth or fifth, I think, email. And then the last point was core web vitals. But I think even a lot of issues are still discussing what has been the impact of core vital. Some people have seen, personally, I have not seen it here at Exigo, so I won't comment much, but I just wanted to share this roadmap so that you get started and you have a sort of a this gives you a direction where to go in the first 6 months. Because when I did SEO for VW, I didn't find this kind of resource on the internet, so that's why I created this. So if it helps anyone, I mean, I'll be really happy. And I just took the best of the resources and just put it here. So hope this helps you in your journey. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. And if I'll take questions at the end of the presentation. Vijay, do you want to take over?
Yeah, sure, Anubhav.
I'll just present.
So yeah, hi folks. Let me introduce myself at the beginning. My name is Vijay Srinivas, and I've been doing SEO for Shashi for the last 2 years. And yeah, like most of my pretty much how Anubhav learned SEO. Most of my learnings came from reading articles, blogs, and newsletters. And yeah, so when I initially looked at Anubhav's slides, I thought, okay, he pretty much covered everything. So what I thought was I'll instead go into one particular topic in depth. And this is something that I see a lot of startups overlook, or, you know, uh, so yeah, the main thing that startups underlook when it comes to SEO is they always try to overachieve in terms of SEO by directly aiming to rank for the core keyword of their segment. Like, let's say if you're a B2B CRM software, they want to rank for like the term CRM software or what is CRM or things like that. But there are other certain criteria like your domain authority, the number of established players in your niche, the competitiveness, and getting a lot of noise.
Yeah, go ahead, Vijay.
So yeah, so one thing that I wanted to focus on, especially for the startups, is how to find high traffic opportunities from long tail opportunities. Because yeah, I'll go on the why. So Anubhav, can you share the next slide? Yeah, so why long tail, right? So yeah, what I mean by long tail is generally your one word keywords are your hit keywords or broad keywords, and 2 or 3 word phrases or broad keywords. And if you look at most of the SEO tools like SEMrush or Ahrefs or Moz, everyone has keyword data or search volume data on the first two categories, the head terms and the broad terms. Because when the search queries are more than 3 words or 4 words, the permutation and combination increases so much, so that the number of actual like exact match queries for one particular term is very less. But according to Ahrefs study, 90% of the search queries have less than the search volume of 10. So how do we capture this huge opportunity? Yeah, and some of the perks of using long tail keywords, as I mentioned, there is less competition from the established players. And as Anubhav mentioned initially, building topic clusters. So if you want to rank for something like what is CRM or CRM software or something like that, initially writing about low competitive uh, topics around the main CRM software keyword is going to help you become more authoritative in the eyes of Google. Yeah, it also reduces your dependence on links initially as you start your content marketing and SEO process, because the topics that you're going after are less competitive. So if you are able to produce good quality content, that is going to impact a lot. And yeah, another indirect advantage here is, since most of the long tail keywords are very specific, if you are going to create content for those specific queries, that is going to create a huge value add for the reader, which can also improve conversions for you or increase brand awareness for your company. Yeah, next slide. So yeah, so how do you go about finding these long tail opportunities? Yeah, first step one, find the seed keyword that you want to go after. So at the end of the slides, I have an example for this. And yeah, step two is understand the SERP behind this particular seed keyword. So is it a fractured SERP or focused SERP? So if it is a fractured search results, then you have a good amount of long tail opportunities available for you to attack. And yeah, how to find the long tail opportunities, I'll go into it in the next slide. So basically the idea is to publish good quality content and make sure that yeah, so this one particular step is something that I use, and a lot of people in the SEO content marketing space are starting to use this a lot, which is something is like these SEO content analysis tools like Surfer SEO or Market News or ClearScope. So these are tools basically, to put it simply, these are tools like Grammarly for SEO. So what it does is, once you paste your content into a text editor that these tools have, they will let us know, hey, these are the keywords that you need to add or remove or have as a heading. And how they come up with these suggestions are basically they crawl through the top 30 results of in Google for that particular keyword, and figure out patterns on how Google is preferring what type of keywords to be added to a particular content. So that is something that if you are going to create content in 2021 or 2022, this is something that you must have in your tech stack. So yeah, to sum it up, long tail keywords have low competition. So especially for startups who have low domain authority, going after low competition keywords is going to increase your chance of ranking the top 3 and increase your traffic. So how much traffic? And before that, what do I mean by fracture and focus up, right? So that is the first step in finding out how is there long tail opportunities for the keyword that you're going after. Yeah, next slide. Cool. So how to read SERP? Yeah. Sorry.
I think Anubhav, we can't see your screen.
I can share it.
Cool. Yes, we can see your screen.
Cool. So yeah, how to read the SERP, right? So let's take the case of freemium. So when I search for freemium, right, in the top 10 results, there are 7 different types of content that is ranking for the term freemium. So there is a how-to, there is a definition, there is a guide, there's a definition again, and there are other contents like pros and cons of freemium, or what makes freemium work. So, and there is a ultimate guide. So there are, so what it initially signals to us is, if you want to, so what Google is indirectly telling us that for the term freemium, there are 7 different types of content that people are searching for. So that is the reason why Google is not unable to find one type of content to be presented in the top 10 for the keyword freemium, because all the 7 types of content or the 7 types of intent are popular enough. So, and Google doesn't exactly know the intent with which the user is searching for when they just search for freemium. So it shows up the popular or the top 7 types of search intent. So that is the reason the search results are fractured in broad terms or head terms in this particular case. So how do you, what's next, right? So the next step in this process is going to be understanding how to get to a focused SERP intent. So the next step that what I would do generally is search for each intent. So let's say there is a definition type of intent, right? So the next search that I would do is what is freemium or freemium definition, and see the search results there. If all the top or majority or the top 10 search results is going to show up all definition kind of content, then that is a focused SERP. So something like this. So if I search for freemium pros and cons or freemium benefits, it's going to show up all the results are going to just talk about freemium pros and cons of freemium benefits. So that is what I mean by focus SERP. So why is it so important, right? So if you look at as I mentioned, freemium pros and cons is a long tail opportunity, right? And of course, Ahrefs is going to say the global search volume for this is 0. So, and we might think that there is not many people searching for it based on the numbers Ahrefs or SEMrush is showing, but it is actually showing up in the top 10 for the keyword freemium under the broad term. So what we actually did was so this is, to put it simply, this is basically what fractured intent is compared to focused intent. So yeah, fractured is going to talk about the same thing, but in different ways. Focus is going to talk about the same content type in a similar way. And as an example, so what we did for freemium pros and cons was we actually had an old post that actually talked about freemium, but it was not SEO optimized at all. It was posted way back in 2013. So we kind of slightly revamped the post, and we gave it a proper SEO dust off with proper title added. We added the proper H1 and H2 saying freemium pros, added the proper H1, H2s, and H3s. And I would say we retained 70% of the content here. And this is the result that we were able to come up with. So earlier we used to get only about 100 sessions, 80 to 100 sessions per month. And today we are getting about 10 times more traffic than that. And this post doesn't even rank for the head term like freemium or freemium model or other thing. So it just ranks for terms like freemium pros and cons or freemium benefits. So which often tools like SEMrush or Moz or Ahrefs misses. But if you follow this way of moving from a fractured intent to focused intent, you'll be able to find different topics like this that will help you find long tail opportunities that will in turn help you build topical authority for you and create powerful topic clusters. Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to keep it short. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Vijay. Thanks, Anubhav. So guys, I think now we are ready for the questions. You guys can shoot your questions on the chat box. I'll take it, or it'll be much better if you unmute and speak.
Hey, I have one query here. So I think we're all familiar about doorway pages. So while building pages for topical authority, so how do we make sure that Google doesn't see them as doorway pages?
So building a lot of doorway pages for B2B.
Yeah. So if we example, you guys explained about CRM. So let's say we are a CRM tool, and we are trying to write a lot of pages which targets one page with a primary keyword, a very high volume keyword, and the pages that we build have a long tail keywords. We target them for long tail keywords, and all of them pointing out to one pillar page, if you will. So will that lead to?
I mean, if all those, I mean, if do those pages have I mean, unique content? If those have unique content, then they're not technically called doorway pages. Then they're different content pieces only. I'll just
right.
I'll just share one thing with you. I just saw it yesterday only. I mean, so
Okay.
I think you shouldn't, because this was asked in those webmaster hangouts that happen. So this was kind of asked yesterday only. So I'll just share that.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think you shouldn't, because, and this is coming from Google, and
Why shouldn't
but
you
in
mean
B2B you shouldn't create a lot of doorway pages, because but if you have kind of unique content, then that's not technically called I'll just share it from this chat only so that everyone can see.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, this is that particular. So someone asked this, so they want to create a lot of doorway pages.
Okay.
So I hope so. This is how John Wheeler answered this. If you have like less number of doorway pages, I think that's okay. But you're planning to create a lot of like hundreds or thousands, then that would cause issues.
Oh, okay. So I don't think I had 100 or thousands in my mind. We plan like for 10, 15 or 20.
Then that's okay. Then probably in a B2B environment, those would have unique content. So that's actually a good practice only, because you're also covering the mini topics, and those mini topics point towards the main topic. So I think that's good. I mean, you should be okay. Yeah.
Vijay, do you want to add something?
Yeah.
No, actually, yeah, Anubhav pretty much clear.
Cool. Any other question? Yeah.
And do you guys have any do's or don'ts while you shift from a subdomain to a subdirectory?
Any do's or don'ts?
Yeah, like the traffic is going to take a major hit, just to soften the blow or something.
If your redirects are the right, I don't think that would happen. I mean, there's a really again, Alida has covered this. I have never personally done it, so I don't know from a practical point of view. But Alida Solis does have this as a resource, I believe.
Sorry?
She's published this. Alida Solis. She's a Spanish SEO.
Okay.
I'll just share. Yeah, she has covered this in one of her posts.
Okay. If you can share the link in the chat.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I'm doing another website migration, not a subfolder to, I mean, a subdomain to subfolder per se, but one thing that I would say is to have a proper plan in place with, and have a buy-in with your DevOps team and the dev team to make sure they understand what's at stake, because if there is any slip up in this change, right, it's going to definitely have a huge impact on your traffic immediately, and it would take at least uh, at least from what I read, it would take at least a couple of months to recover. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
we're still recovering from the June update, so I don't want that to happen.
which niche are you in? Are you in B2B or e-com?
Yeah, B2B.
Okay, what happened during the June update? What particular thing did you see?
Traffic loss. Now we have 7 or 8 major pages that bring the better chunk of the traffic, like 6,000, 7,000 visits a month. So those pages have come down to like 35-40% drop in each of those pages. Like we now have 2,500, 3,000 visits now a month. So
Okay. Were those pillar pages? Like, what were those?
no, they're just blogs,
Okay.
high volume blogs, like high volume keyword
Okay.
blogs. They were all in the second, third position, like till May or
Before
June.
June.
Yeah,
Okay.
before June, and it started declining. Like only 4-5 pages took a major hit, but those pages were like very old and very strong. So I think that is why the one common thing that we found was they were all pages written 4-5 years back by our founders. So we are revamping it.
Okay, that could have been one. So again, the website I've shared, Alida Solis, what she
Okay.
does is basically what she gives this shares this thought framework. So let's say if you are in situation A,
Okay.
what should be your next steps? So
Okay.
like this is your situation. So she kind of gives out that content. So just
Oh,
see that. I think you'll find your answer in her one of her posts.
okay. Okay.
So you'll definitely be able to connect the dots what happened back in June.
Yeah. I'll check the site out. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm sharing another piece here for migration, what you just
Okay.
asked for. So this is the guide given by Google itself, like it's more from a technical standpoint, but yeah, I think if you can follow this process, you should be fine.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, nice one, Vijay. Any other questions? Anyone wants to ask any practical situation there? I mean, a real situation they're currently stuck in.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. First of all, thanks Abhinav and Vijay for an interesting session. So, my question is that like not from today's presentation. So, for any early stage company, so you know who has just started out the SEO of it. So, what would be the ideal metrics you should be tracking, and how often you should be doing that? That is my first question, actually.
Okay. I mean, metrics from the point of view is the same. The traffic or traffic you're getting from organic visits. So it's the same, even when you're starting out. I mean, but when you're starting out, you just don't get obsessed with those because you're just starting out, and you'll have to build some sort of authority. You'll have to build what is called in SEO EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So it will take time, and so that answered the matrix part. How do you go about it then? I mean, again, whatever your website or whatever you offer as a solution, just kind of build topic clusters of it, and
Okay.
start off with building pillar pages, because those are your high volume keywords. You start to get more traffic, and then go deep down into the subtopics. And also within a topic cluster, make sure you prioritize the important topic clusters. I mean, I'll go back to my own example, VW. We had multiple topic clusters, so we had to prioritize. So A/B testing was one of our major. It's one of the biggest search things in digital marketing. So that was our biggest topic cluster. So you'll also have to prioritize your most important topic cluster, and just uh, oh yeah. So one thing you can do this. One thing you can do that you can prioritize one topic cluster for a whole quarter. So let's say you have listed down a 10 topic cluster, right? Now you pick up one topic cluster in one quarter and try to answer most of the subtopics within the topic cluster. So what I'll do is I'll take up A/B testing for Q1. I'll create a pillar page for that. Then I'll go and create blog posts. What is A/B testing? Why to do A/B testing? How to do A/B? I'm just like saying random things, and then I'll all link back to that main pillar page. So I'll do this continuously for quarter one, and then you'll see that Google has started picking up your site for that particular topic cluster. It will start recognizing, hey, this is site XYZ, and it writes really good content on this particular topic cluster. Then in quarter two, you go to the second most important topic cluster. That's how you prioritize your topic clusters.
Okay. Okay.
And this
Have
is
you?
also, yeah, sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is also shared in that link that I shared in the resource. So you will find that there also.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Also,
you
like,
ask.
have you ever had a chance to work on the distribution side of it, like closely with anyone? Do you have like any best practices for that as well?
Yeah, so for that specifically, so the last point that I mentioned in my slide, I mean, you can refer to Glenn Alpha's first email. That's a really amazing, hack. I mean, I don't want to share his hacks because he came up with that. So
Yeah.
you'll find your answer there. So just make a note of it. You'll find. I think it comes in. So he does a drip sort of a thing. So he
Okay.
sends that those same emails only. You'll find your answer in the second email, your first email.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you'll see, yeah. And also
Anyone?
Steve Toth. Yeah. Any Vijay, you
Yeah,
want to
go
add?
on. Anubhav. Yeah, no.
No, I'm just saying that, yeah, Steve Todd also recently shared a really good hack about that. I can touch upon that hack. So basically what it does, so what happens is, let's say you said now that, and also this relates to what Vijay said about long tail keywords.
Mm.
So this was Steve's hack. What he used to do was he would search forums for
Okay.
subtopics. He would do site reddit.com and then search forums for his particular subtopic. And the good thing about forums is that you can easily outrank those. You can easily outrank Quora and Reddit on SERP. So he would do that. He would specifically narrow down his search to forums, and then he would outrank those because he knew that people are searching for these subtopics and long tail keywords, and these are high converting users. So that was his hack. So I'm sorry I shared it, but yeah, that was a hack.
Okay, that was
So you will
interesting.
yeah. So this is a really good point for B2B SEOs. You can easily outrank forums. If you see what Vijay shared in his slide, that if there's a fractured, SERP and there are forums ranking, so you can there's a very high probability that you can outrank a forum.
Yeah.
So irrespective of whatever position it is at, yeah. I'll just write the name.
Yeah, Vijay, do you want to say something?
Yeah. So yeah, initially, when you're starting out, I would say, on top of what Anubhav mentioned, from a tracking perspective, decide on a set of core keywords that you want to make sure that you want to rank for in the next 6 months or something, and just focus on them. Another thing from a content marketing perspective, I would say is niche down to a particular segment within your whole industry. Like going back to a CRM example, I would not write about anything and everything under CRM as I wouldn't consider CRM as my a content cluster initially. I would instead have something like a healthcare CRM or a industry based or a niche based. So if you can niche down, I think you'll have a better chance of ranking quickly and gain topical authority as well. So that is something that I would suggest doing, and also having a set list of core keywords that you want to gain rankings for, and initially I would say have laser focused execution on a set of topics or keywords alone. Don't try to write about anything and everything. It's very easy to get lost that way.
Yeah,
Got
agreed.
it. Got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Since we were talking about forum, I just wanted to confirm when we like post on forums or something, is there any chance of getting a backlink from there?
Yeah, so if you post on Quora, so you'll see that getting picked up in Search Console reports. So that does quantify as a proper backlink. You
So
can
is
see
there
that
any
in Search.
strategy about going to Quora and posting? Because we have recently started posting on Quora, but we generally answer questions which are related to our industry, and we haven't posted anything so far. So just
Which makes sense. You can easily, there you'll probably find a lot of templates available online.
Mhm.
What you can do is you can take Screaming Frog and just scrape. First, what you can do is you can narrow down your search results from Quora. On SERP, just type out site:/Quora.com and double quotes whatever your topic is. It will narrow down all the major question links. Just scrape those, put it in a Google sheet, prioritize those in terms of views and whatever. You can scrape the views through Screaming Frog. You'll find really good articles on that, and just start answering on those. And you'll see eventually when you go to the links report in Search Console, those getting picked up as links. So that does happen.
okay, okay. And is there any sort of metrics that we should track in Quora as well?
Views, I think, is good enough. Yeah, I think views and upvotes.
So is there any industry benchmark for a B2B SaaS company?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Vijay, do you know?
Not exactly.
All right, all right.
Bec- I used to write so at BW. I used to answer questions on Quora on A/B testing, and I mean, eventually, if you keep that consistency, and no one else is keeping it, so Quora kind of makes you the topic expert. So what used to happen was that I used to get new questions every day in my inbox. So just
Yeah,
keep up the consistency. Yeah.
all right. Thank you so much. Also, when we are talking about backlinks, so
Mhm.
is there any strategy you would like to share for B2B SaaS companies for creating backlinks, or even when it comes to Disavow? So I have created this list of Disavow. However, I just wanted to check how much time Google takes to actually disavow those backlinks, and do we have to like keep on doing that activity again and again, or is it okay to not
No,
disavow?
no, you can do it one disavow. You can do it like I think once is enough. And I mean, just do it thoroughly. Make sure that no, you can use tools like SEMrush and Ahref. They kind of filter out the toxic domains and links. They kind of give their own metric to that, but
Yeah.
it eases out the whole process. So just take that only. I mean, मतलब क्या होगा गलती से if you remove a really good domain, so then unfortunately फिर वो disavow हो जाएगा. मतलब you'll have to remove that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
just
actually
yeah.
took help from SEMrush itself. Just wanted to know how frequent should I disavow links?
It's good enough for a year, like once in a year, that's it, or once in 2 years also. Yeah. I
All
mean, it
right.
depends upon how someone is linking. If someone could be spamming a website, that depends completely upon the like a situation.
Okay.
So usually it doesn't happen. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
So Google itself suggests that not to disavow frequently. They only ask to disavow if you're really sure about the domain. And they also mentioned that they are like this. Google itself is smart enough these days to ignore uh, toxic links from their ranking process. If you have a lot of toxic links, probably negatively impacted. But yeah, I wouldn't advise against frequently update disavowing. But yeah, like Anubhav said, like once in a year or two times should do.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Vijay, right. So they just came up with that link update. I mean, in October. So they're getting really good at it. So yeah. And I think this year they've come out with 3 link updates, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are on a roll in 2021.
Yeah. 2021. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So talking about backlinks, how do you go about it? Because if you reach out to, people for backlinks, usually when the domain authority is not that high, they
Mhm.
tend to refuse it, right? But in any which way you have to build that. So how can
Exactly.
we start with that?
So to start off with, I would say, from a practical experience, I'll give you some examples. So usually, what type of pages get maximum number of backlinks? Those are pillar pages. If you write a really good long form content, now the probability goes higher that the person would link back to you. So one is that. Then industry stats. If you come out with really good industry stats, then people tend to link back to you, and you also get shared a lot on social media. Your content resource. So that is one of the things. Any particular, let's say trending topic, Google came out with something and your product also ties into it. I'll tell you just say, so basically, when I was in BWO, so Google was kind of, talking about page experience update. So our tool actually kind of adds onto the page performance of the page load time. So we could have taken that and created a content rows. Hey, VW does not, and why it does not. So any trending topic, you write a really good thought, which is called what is called leadership content, and then you just circulate in the social media and someone picks it up, then you can get a lot of backlinks. These are the most common hacks. Then the person that I shared, the detail.com, Glenn Alsop, he shares a really good hack in his second email. So that
Okay.
is one of the hacks that I didn't know about when I was in VW. So you can just have a look at that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything
Yeah,
Vijay you want?
tools are also another big link magnet because yeah, that is something people generally want to use quickly, and that adds value if people are writing about, let's say, top payment gateways in India or something like that. And if you create a tool that compares all the payment gateways in India, in US, Australia, and other things, so your tool, there's a good chance that you'll be linked from a lot of other websites. So yeah, tools, yeah, building link magnets is the way to go, at least at the initial phase.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So any other questions, guys? Cool. So if there is no other question, we have around 4 minutes left. So maybe we can wrap this up. If there is no question, I'll just wait for 1 more minute. Okay, so I assume that there is no other question. So thanks guys for joining, and if you have anything to ask or any help needed, you can directly text me on the Smack group, and if you're not on the Smack group, kindly join through this link that I'll be sharing. Thanks guys for joining, and I'll send the recording on the by tomorrow, end of day.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time.
Thanks guys.
Thanks, Anubhav.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you so much. It
Hope
was very useful. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Anubhav. Great.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.